Hey, we got another Slender's grappling breakdown. I apologize. I do not remember this individual's name. He had showed up for the beginner class a while ago and stayed after for the free rolls, the open mat, and a couple guys said he was doing pretty well. So I just wanted to roll with him and kind of feel out his game, kind of introduce him to jiu-jitsu. I noticed right off the bat he was doing a good job by not overextending his arms, protecting himself well, so that was a good sign. I'll point out here, I kind of rock this half turtle, half butterfly guard. I do this often with more inexperienced people to kind of, I want to expose myself to worse positions, so I kind of offer a lot of back exposure just to kind of see what they can do and kind of give myself a work. You can see I have a tiny hook on that side, keeping them from taking my back. I end up turning it into an arm drag of sorts that he defends fairly well. He keeps good posture through it, so it shuts it down a little bit. And I'm just kind of feeling him out, just kind of seeing what he does. He's being pretty smart by trying to keep his hands on the inside, trying to stay squared to me. I like to keep cutting the angles, but he does a good job of staying square. He gets a good bicep grip here. I actually coached him a little there, and then he made a mistake, so kind of used it against him. We'll walk back through that. You can see I actually, as he gets a good bicep grip, kind of stacks me a little bit. I give him a little coaching and I say, now's a good time to stand up and posture up. And he begins to do it. He does a good little hop up, but then he sits his weight back, which is kind of a rookie mistake. I just grabbed his ankles, kind of popped him back onto his bottom. And then I used the bicep grip actually to create a good arc to throw so that the hip bump really is effective and takes him right into mount. Looked really clean, looked really smooth. Just using that, his momentum and his pressure against him. We can see here, I'm just kind of settling him out, just kind of see what he'll work. He is still doing a good job of controlling my arms with like those bicep grips and such, but I'm just kind of feeling it out, kind of seeing what he does and how he's going to react. And this kind of gets into what I want to talk about. Escaping in jiu-jitsu is about retreating your hips through the opening that your opponent isn't blocking. And if they're doing a good job in blocking all your openings, you have to create your own. So you have to have a power bridge, a power shrimp. That is a shrimp that starts with a potent high bridge that creates an opening no matter what underneath you that you can retreat through. He was sitting in mount a while, so I windshielded over and then went into an armbar. I was putting a lot of pressure on him and he wasn't tapping, so I just kind of moved on from there. And I go to see what else he might kind of look for or create. I just want to see how he's going to escape, what avenue he's going to use. Now, he uses a good bridge here and gets to it, but I ended up turning it around on him because he didn't understand how to turn back into me or where to turn his hips. He does a pretty slick little thing with his head here, too, that I want to point out. So here comes the bridge. He finally uses a good bridge. He comes back. He actually gets a hold of my legs, and he does a good, solid bridge. He wants to rotate his hips back into me at this point, and he rotates them the opposite way. So I just drop my wedge in and take mount again. That's just a matter of training. He just doesn't have the instincts for that yet. So watch what he does with his head here, though. He clears my grip off his head and then arches his head backwards to block my arm. If he had bridge and rolled at that point, he very well could have got a reversal out of it. I might have turned it into a nasty guillotine or something, but the point is, he did have some good instincts. Just needed that solid power shrimp to open up his own space to escape through, or to be able to throw his hips over and get a reversal, right? So with a little bit of training could have went a long way for this guy. You can see here I windshielded out and then I went to side control and I'm working kind of a reverse hip position. He's kind of already starting to feed me like a Kimura. They often will defend by keeping the arm really flat against their body, or you'll see here he even straightens it out and puts it in between his legs. That opens up an opportunity to step over and isolate into a one arm in, one arm out situation. And at this point, I'm just waiting for the triangle. And he takes the bait, pushes me over, I windshield, lock the legs up, come underhook his legs so he can't stack me, and it's done. We'll look at that one more time. It's kind of fun. I used the wedge to clear all the way over his arm, right? So he's one arm in, one arm out now. And I'm just waiting for him to start to push me off of him a little bit so I can windshield my leg around and then lock up the triangle. Then I come under his base so he can't stack me, and he taps. All right. So he did have really good instincts, especially he told me that he had only wrestled with his brothers. So it was looking pretty sound. I hope to see him again. I hope he does come back through if you see this. Moral of the story, if you don't want to be stuck on bottom, drill your bridges and shrimps, guys. Get out there and train. Slenderman out.